So, confession time. This junk journal planner cover, yep, it's the one I made 2 weeks ago in my last Plan With Me May video. I will link that for you below in case you want to see that. With this beautiful yellow fabric by Tim Holtz on the inside and, on the outside and on the inside. And the ephemera from my latest Lavender Hour kit. I kind of hate this cover, like really hate it. Don't get me wrong, I love the individual elements and I was so touched by all your sweet comments, but emotionally I just wasn't in a good place when I created it, and now it kind of carries that energy for me. So every time I pick it up, it just feels so wrong. So today we're doing something a little scary, or maybe a lot scary. So I'm going to try to transform it into something I actually enjoy looking at for the next 4 months. I do not have a solid plan, so this could be either a fun makeover or a total crafting disaster, but I'm taking you along with me for the ride either way. Welcome, it's Barbara from Vienna, Austria. So you can maybe imagine that doing something like this on your own, secretly in your craft room is nerve-wracking enough, but to do this on camera when you have no idea of the outcome or even what steps to take is very, very nerve-wracking for me. So I think I have to dismantle whatever I can dismantle first, starting off with this label here. So that shouldn't be too bad. I don't think I glued it on. I hope I just attached it with these brads, because then at least one step of the way will be easy. Oh yes, thank you, Barbara, for not having glued this on the cover. Yay! Well, that makes me happy already. Okay, this is a good start. Let's keep this momentum going. The next thing I really, really dislike is this purple doily, which was beautiful the way it was originally, which was a beige, but I dyed it with purple, and purple just doesn't seem to be my color at all, especially not in this combination. And I know many of you loved it, and I'm sorry that I have to take this apart now, but I really can't stand it. And of course it would be easy to just cut the signatures off and make a new cover, and that is my plan B if I can't transform this cover. But I am hoping that I can salvage the cover somehow. I don't know how yet. So I glued this doily on with art glitter glue. It is stuck really well, but given that it's a doily and there's a lot of holes here, I can actually pull it off, which is making me really, really happy. Yay! I did not think this would work so well, to be honest. Can you let me know if you have ever had a similar issue? And what did you do? Did you just throw it out? Or did you actually try to salvage it? And did you manage if you tried? Or was it worse in the end? Because that could totally happen here. Oh, I'm so happy how this is coming off. But it's glued really well. I have to say, this art glitter glue did a fantastic job. I did add a lot of glue to this doily though. Doily is tearing. I could definitely see myself using these pieces in collages, so they won't go to waste. Okay, now we're coming to the part where I have the doily stuck underneath my ephemera. Let's see what happens. With these kind of endeavors, you really just need to be brave. I'm just thinking whatever I do will be better in the end than what it is now. Wow. Okay, so the doily is off, and now I'm tearing into my ephemera. I just want to get all of this off, all of it. And also this is glued down quite well. I don't remember what I used. Maybe also the art glitter glue. I really don't know. Okay, doily is off. No, you don't make a cover planning to rip it all off again. I know many of you are cringing right now and saying, Barbara, what are you doing? But believe me, I have to do this. There's no other way. Every time I looked at this journal cover, it really made me cringe inside. And it didn't make me want to use it at all. And since this is something I work in daily, that's just not an option. Oh my goodness. Ah, wow, this is really stuck down well. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Okay, now what? Oh, and I see, look, this came loose here from my signature. That's not good. Let's see if the signature is loose itself. Not really, but this looks horrible, of course. Let's think about what to do now. I guess the easiest option would be to just take another piece of fabric and glue that, maybe sew around the fabric first to look similar to what I have here, and then just glue that over this and then make a new cover design. The other option is to just cover parts of this. For example, by coincidence, yesterday I made this fabric snippet roll, which is not finished yet. For now, I just stuck down all my fabric pieces with a glue stick onto a piece of a white tablecloth. So I would definitely need to sew over this to adhere the fabric better. But what if I took this and put this over the spine to cover up all of this purple mess here and also my stitching, which now looks horrible. So that could be like this, adding some neutral tones, which calms it down a lot, and I'm loving. And then we could figure out what to do with this here. Probably also add some neutral tones, either with papers or with fabric, or a mixture of both. So let's start off by cutting this down. I made this for a completely different project, but it's not working out for the project I have in mind. So I'm actually happy to have a project where this will work. Yeah, I love this already so much more, just with that simple change. Okay, so I'll take this to my sewing machine and stitch around it somehow. I'll figure that out while I sew. Okay, so this is what it looks like once I have stitched on it. So on the top and the bottom, I added the same stitching that I have on my cover here, so that it looks like it's actually stitched on. And then I added some wavy stitching top to bottom. I already like this so much better. Wow. This is so much more me. Okay, so what can we add underneath here? Maybe we should open it. I might just leave the back as it is. But what can we do with this? Maybe it makes sense first to figure out what decorative elements I want to add, and then I can think about what to add underneath. So again, I will be using my Lavender Hour kit because I always use the first month's kit of my planner on the cover. So I'm very happy with this cover page and the calendar pages themselves. This is all fine, but yeah, it was really just the cover that wasn't working for me. So it makes totally sense to use some of those elements on the cover. I did like the idea of the envelope, like I had on the original cover here, this envelope here, into which we stuck some elements. I think I just need to keep the purple a little more subtle, and then paired with neutrals like we have here in the image, I think is going to work for me. So just like with the original cover, I'm going to cut this one out completely, and then this is the exact same image. I will just cut out the front part so I can glue that on to actually have a pocket. So just like last time, I'm going to ink up all of the edges and then You could either just glue those edges down, but I'm just going to take this again to my sewing machine and sew those edges down. Okay, so we have an actual envelope here now. I think they look so realistic. I love these. Then I think I do want to have at least one butterfly, but the ones that I have here left from my printable, I don't think are right because they're too big. These two I think are too big. The others are not quite the colors that I want. Maybe can I salvage this one here? I don't want the purple thread from underneath. Maybe I can get rid of that. Ha! This butterfly is pretty much intact, so we can use that. Yay! Maybe I can even save this small one here. No. I can't. Okay. So we have this. And instead of adding more purple inside the envelope, like with some of these glasses would work size-wise, I don't think I want to overdo it with the purple because purple just doesn't seem to be my color. Then why do you make a purple kit, you ask? Yep, I thought I liked it. But apparently many of you are loving it, so that makes me really, really happy. Yeah, I don't think I'll be using any of these. I do love this belly band here. So I could, in theory, cut out some of these butterflies. Let's see. For now, let's just stick with this. Maybe I'll add a note in here or something. And the bigger I make it, the more I can actually cover up some of the purple again, if necessary. Okay, so we still need to figure out what can we add underneath here. So while I've been rummaging through my things, I came upon this Tim Holtz paper doll. Maybe we could put her in the envelope. Oh yeah, that's cute. Then this butterfly doesn't really work. Or should we do like a classic to put the wings? Ooh. This is much more becoming something that I love. Yeah, I mean, imagine this on a different background, obviously, not this. Yeah, this definitely has a lot of potential. Yes. Still don't know what to put on here as a background. What about a mixture of vintage book pages? So I actually think that's a pretty good base on which we can still add things. And I think the contrast to the back is too much, meaning that I will do the same for the back. So I'll just cover that with book pages. So now, how do we actually adhere it and make it sturdy enough? What if we glue the pieces down onto another piece of paper? So that way they will get more stability. Okay, so then we'll take both of these and glue them onto some, this is fairly sturdy copy paper. So then let me just cut around this. So this goes on the back. And then we cut around this. This is a bit tricky because I really don't want the white paper showing underneath. I shouldn't have glued it all the way to the edge. Okay, and this side, it doesn't matter because that's gonna go under the snippet roll. So like this, and then we have this in the middle. Kind of a big change from the original cover. Thank goodness. Okay, so next, I think I'll ink up the edges. Then I will dry this a bit with my heat tool, and then I'll take this to my sewing machine and again stitch around it like I did here on the cover. Okay, I have my pieces ready. These were just some misprints from my kit. I had some color issues, as you can see. So let's just glue these down. This already feels so much better, so much more like me. This already is making me so happy. And then we can also just glue down our snippet roll piece. I on purpose wanted to leave the spine just with fabric, not with paper, because this way it will lay a lot more flat when I open the planner. Just make sure this snippet roll is more or less centered. Yeah, yes. So now if we add this envelope with Our Lady here, I feel like the background is a bit too busy. Either we could just add some gesso over it, or we could add some stenciling over it. Let's try a fun stencil. How about this one? I love this one a lot. Haven't used it in a long time actually. It's by Ranger and Illusions by Diane Reevely. And it's called Coins Large with the number DYS78012. And I'll even partially go over my fabric here. And I'm going to use this modeling paste from Sostrene Grene, which is not even an art shop. It's a kind of shop that has many fun items. And sometimes they have, or actually always, they have some craft items. I think usually the craft items, I don't know, they're not all the best quality, but I have used this modeling paste a few times and it's perfect. It's not that heavy bodied, so I wouldn't use it for everything, but I think for this, it should be good. Or it actually looks like it's too thin. And I think it's going underneath my stencil, which is not good. We'll see what this looks like once I take off the stencil. This might actually be a disaster. I might have to take something more heavy-bodied. I didn't go over the fabric as planned, but let's do that. Why not? And I don't want like smooth circles. I want texture in them. Wow, I'm super curious. Oh, it's better than I thought. But at the same, well, this is a mess right there. Maybe we can cover that up. I love it here on the fabric. It's really good. It's super thick right here. Let's take some of that off. I'm not sure it's covering up enough of the script. Oh, it definitely did help. Okay. Do we also do this on the back side? Yeah, why not? Let's just get rid of the mess on the back of the stencil first. I'm having so much fun with this new cover. I'm so happy I decided to just do this. I mean, I still don't know what the final outcome will look like, but I know it's going to be better than what it was before, at least from my personal taste. I know some of you won't agree. But it's so fun to just experiment and to not know the outcome and to just, you know, enjoy each and every step, enjoy the process, and then we'll see what comes out at the end. I'm loving this already. Wow. Okay, this obviously should dry now. So I let this air dry on my balcony for a couple of hours. So this is completely, maybe not completely. There's a thicker spot here, which is not completely dry, but basically it's dry enough to keep working. And I thought, what if we add a little bit of Lost Shadow, just to give the background a little more variation. I will first spray it a little bit with some water, and I should have, before I added the modeling paste, been really good to add some clear gesso on the pages, because now I'm not sure how they're going to react given that they are book pages. We might not see this very well. Maybe I should spray it. And since this is modeling paste, I'm assuming I can wipe it off on that. I mean, it's not actually necessary, but let's see. Let me dry that. I did the same thing for the back side here. I know it's very, very subtle. So let's add something else. How about this stencil? Tim Holtz, Stampers Anonymous, and the number is THS 157. Let's add something square on something round, why not? And I'll just do that in the middle. And I'll use my Ice Ink dye spray by Seth Apter called Gold Mine. It's almost empty. I'm not sure this is going to work very well. Yeah, you can't hardly see the pattern. I should have done that on the back and put this on the front, because usually this negative is a lot better than spraying through it. Yeah, not this time. Okay, this is a bit much, so let's get rid of some of this. It's still a bit much, but maybe with the things we're adding on top, it will be okay. So we have our envelope with the lady. I haven't glued anything together yet, which I think I want a bit slanted, and then she needs to be a bit slanted, like so. And then I thought we could add some doily bits underneath. I have these two pieces, so I thought one we could add maybe down here, and one up here, and that would cover up actually a lot of the gold, which is fine. Or we can add some gold splatters on top. And then maybe instead of the purple buttons that we had before, we add some white buttons. These are some beautiful fabric buttons. Maybe like that. I think this works better because we have a diagonal here. Kind of seemed off on that corner. Then we still need to add our label. I'll leave it at the same place that it was before. So I glued everything on. And in my opinion, it's just missing two things. One is a sentiment. And from this set here, Tim Holtz, Stampers Anonymous, with the name Noteworthy CMS 446. There's two here which I think are both perfect, so I don't know how to choose. One is Be Fearless, both for the cover that we completely changed and in life general. And the other one is You Do You, because the other cover was so not me, so I had to do me to be happy with this cover. But I think the more powerful one is Be Fearless. And I'll stamp that in black. Let's just ink around that. And the final touch is obviously gold splatters. But before I do that, I just wanted to show you, I just realized unconsciously, I think I chose her, and I just put this box in so that the cover would stand up better. Look how well she fits to this collage fabric on the inside. That's just perfect, isn't it? Didn't realize that. So let's add the final touch. Let's cover up the bits we don't want splattered. So here's the final result. Here's the back. And now I will be happy every time I see this and every time I get to work in this. I'm so happy I was brave enough to do this, and I hope you try the same if you have a similar issue with one of your journal or planner covers. I would love it if you would let me know in the comments below if you think this is more me than the original cover. I'm super curious, and let me know which one you like better, because I know a lot of you actually liked the original one. So let me know. I would love to find out. Thank you so much for going through this with me. Love you guys. Mwah! Mwah!